Welcome to Jerry's Fish Room.
Hey guys, welcome back to Jerry's Fish Room. I am so glad that you joined me this week. Going to be doing our first species profile of some of the fish that I keep. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited about it. I am so stoked just to be able to do this video or these videos for you guys. And please, you know the routine: like, subscribe, share, but comment. You know, it's really important for me to get comments, not about how good the videos are, and which I do want to hear how good, or something that you might like differently, but to get new ideas. Also to hear, some of your experiences, and maybe that we can learn from each other. And so, guys, please comment on these videos. I absolutely love to hear from you. It's a great way to interact. So now back to our species profile, the Jewel Cichlid. So as I shared in the silver dollar video a couple videos ago, how we kind of got into the silver dollars, it was a bit of an impulse buy. My wife saw the fish, loved it, and we kind of jumped on board, didn't ask the right questions, and lo and behold, found out some stuff that we needed to know about that silver dollar and what it liked, and we had to make some changes. So go back and check that video out, and you can maybe not make the same mistake I did. But what I didn't tell you is that same day, while my wife had an impulse buy, so did I. So while we were talking to the owner of the store, one of the owners of the store, the guy, one of the shopkeepers or whatever in the back, he was like, I don't know if he's hollering out to me or another customer, and he goes, "Hey dude, check these out, man." And he had this bright red fish in his hand. I couldn't see, it was a little bit far away. He was on the other side of the store, but all I could catch was this bright red color. And you guys know as well as I do, in the African hobby for sure, red is a rare color. And so when I was in a store that dealt with cichlids and I saw a red fish, it was like light bulb, I gotta have it. Gotta have it. So I go back and I asked the guy, I said real quick, I said, "Man, what are those? Those are so cool." And I'm looking at them. He's like, "Man, they're Jewel Cichlids." I said, "What are they, African or what?" He said, "No, they're African cichlids." And so in my mind, I'm thinking, great, I can throw these bad boys in the tank, and man, they're gonna go good, and it's gonna get that pop of red that I really like. And so I asked him, I said, "How much are they?" And he said, "Man, I'll sell them to you as a pair." So I was like, okay. So I bought them as a pair. So with that being said, got them home. Then I started to do my research. Then I realized a couple of things. But we're going to talk about what these fish are really like and go through a little bit of that species profile. Alright guys, this is the African Jewel Cichlid, or African jewel fish. It's a Hemichromis bimaculatus. There are 11 species of jewel fish. However, I think there's only 3 that are predominantly in the hobby. I believe one is called the banded jewel fish, and the other one, I'm not sure the name, but it's more of a blue color. However, this is, when you see jewels, this I think is predominantly the one that you see most of all in the hobby. Care level for these fish is fairly easy to moderate, and they'll grow to about 6 inches. Their lifespan is about 5 years. Water parameters, anywhere from a pH of 7 to 8. And keep in mind, I know a lot of sites will say 7 to 7.4, but these fish are farm raised, used to the harder water. I've got 7.6, 7.8. They're doing absolutely fine. Temperatures, they like it between 74 to 80 degrees. So, pretty much typical tropical fish temperatures. If you want to breed, they recommend maybe to raise that temperature up a little bit. It helps that process. They come from North and West African, mostly the West African area. They're often found in rivers and streams and muddy water, and they are very aggressive. These fish are often aggressive because they are paired up, and they're very protective of their mates as well as their fry. And so this is one of those areas where you need to do your research. Many times they'll recommend that these fish be in tanks by themselves. However, as you can see here, I don't have them that way, and we'll talk about tank mates in just a moment. They are egg layers, and one of the cool things is they lay their eggs on flat surfaces, and after a couple days they'll move their eggs to a more secluded area to protect them until the fish grow up, or the fry grow up. Omnivores, that's what they are for food. They are omnivores. They'll eat just about anything. They do well on pellets, flakes, bloodworms. I do pretty much all of those things, and so they do really well. They like to hang out at the bottom of the tank, and tank size, speaking of which, recommended about 40 gallons or more. Need a little room. As far as tank decor, put some rocks in there, large rocks, some plants, but mainly large rocks. They like the caves. And then the substrate as well should be a sand substrate. They like to do some moving around of that substrate, and so sand is kind of a good substrate for them, or it's what's recommended. These guys will, as I said, mate when they mate up. They mate for life. If a mate dies, it's been stated in some of the research that I looked at that they will kill a new mate if someone tries to introduce them. So very aggressive. But as you can see here, these are the tank mates that I have in my tank, and I've not had any aggression issues whatsoever. I have kept a good eye on them, and they've been in there for 3 to 4 weeks. Now, you know, when it comes to these two fish, I actually had a bit of a surprise dropped in my lap. As you will see here shortly, I ended up with new fry, actually a single new fry. So the tank that they were in, which will come up here in just a minute, you're going to see, they actually left me a surprise. I cleaned that tank out, and lo and behold, this was what I found. There's the little guy. He's sitting down in the bottom of my 55-gallon tank. Had no clue. I do know for a fact that this is a Jewel Cichlid, because the only fish that's been in that tank are some silver dollars, as you saw earlier, and the 2 jewel fish. So it'll be interesting to see how this little guy grows. I'm going to find another tank eventually, because as I am getting ready to do my large project, this 55 is going to get relocated and reworked for some new fish. All right, guys, thank you for joining me back. Appreciate you going along on this journey of my first species profile, the Jewel Cichlid, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please, if you would, man, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Also, man, I'd love to have you subscribe to my channel. Ring that bell so that you'll be reminded of when my next videos drop. And please, again, as I said earlier in the video, comment. I love to hear your comments. If you guys have ideas, thoughts about future topics, I would love to hear it. If you've got some thoughts on this video, on the Jewel Cichlid, maybe you've kept them. Maybe there's something I missed in the species profile. I'd love to hear from you guys. So please, please comment. Just again, love that interaction. So next week, guys, we're going to take a look at what is in this box. And so come back and we'll go through what Extreme Foods sent me. And we will see you next week. But until we do, remember, keep loving the fish.